You're watching Girl TV! Woo!
Hey, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Sarah.
Today we are going to talk about why laughing is so important.
One question, why is laughing so important?
Laughing is important because it can do many things for you and your body.
A good laugh can loosen muscles, lower blood pressure, and can lower levels of hormones that create stress and weaken your immune system.
When you laugh, your body moves blood to your heart and lungs. Doing this boosts your energy level, making you feel better instantly. It also makes you and the person you're laughing with form a closer bond.
Laughing is great for you, even if you're laughing at something totally weird.
They say that laughing adds 7 seconds to your life.
What are you doing?
Well, it adds 7 seconds to your life.
Oh, ha 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 ha.
Of course, that's at least 14 extra seconds.
Did you know that some people with cancer are told to go to a comedy club for their treatment? Because laughing is so beneficial to health and well-being.
Not only is laughing good for you, but it just makes you feel fantastic.
Well, that's just dandy.
So everyone laugh, laugh, and laugh a little more.
For Girl TV, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Rachel.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, we're with Les again. How are you today?
Couldn't be better.
So, how is laughing important in life?
Well, it's important in several different aspects. From a health point of view, it actually makes you healthier. That's a proven fact. Is that we have cancer. Over the years, we've had people who have cancer, who have come to the theater here every week as part of their treatment, because the laughter releases chemicals in your body.
Wow.
that actually help fight disease, that actually relieve stress, and stress is the #1 thing that kills people faster than anything else, stress. And so laughter is probably one of the #1 things you can do for yourself to relieve stress.
Thank you, Les, for sharing. For Girl TV, I'm Jillian. Bye.
Today we're here with Jean Doobie, President of the Sarasota Audubon Society. So, what is the Audubon Society of Sarasota?
Well, it's called the Sarasota Audubon Society, and it's an organization that's dedicated to protection of birds. So we worry a lot about birds. We have 1,000 members in our organization, and we do lots and lots of things. We do bird conservation, we do monitoring, we've adopted a road and adopted a park that we keep clean, and we also give scholarships to students who are going to college to study the environmental sciences. We have monthly programs. We've got a lot of things going on. It's really a lot of fun. We do a lot of field trips in and around Sarasota, and in addition to that we go around Florida as well, and we go overseas. In this coming year we're going to go to Trinidad and Arizona, and next year we're going to go to the Galapagos. So we go to look for birds, to understand them, to study them in their native habitats. And here in Sarasota we're very concerned about the loss of habitat for birds, because many birds, there's so much building going on that it reduces available habitat for them. And one of our biggest projects is working on the beach nesting birds. I don't know if you know this, but birds actually nest on our beaches. They lay an egg right in the sand, and with all the people on the beach it's really tough to keep them safe, but we really try. Here is one of the birds that this is a snowy plover with a chick, and this year on Siesta Key we managed to help 7 babies survive, which is really a lot. And So every weekend we go out and we talk to people on the beach and we educate the public about why we've roped off certain areas. I don't know if you know this, but if you've been on the beach, you might have seen roped off areas with sticks and tape, and that's to give a safe area for birds to breed. So this is one of them. This little chick is less than 1 week old, and it takes about 3 weeks before it can fly. So in the meantime, it's scurrying all around the sand, and so you can imagine what it's like when people are walking along. We have to really make sure that they don't step on these little birds. This other bird that I have is called a least tern. This least tern has got 2 babies, and these are a little different. They take about they take about 3 weeks to fly, but unlike the other bird, this one the parents have to keep bringing fish to them, and so they're on the sand on their own while the parents are off finding the fish for them to eat. So it's a real struggle on our beaches. So those are some of the things we're concerned about.
Can you tell us a little bit about some of the projects you're working on?
Well, our major project for the next 2 or 3 years is if you don't know where the celery fields are, I'll tell you. It's a 300-acre site that's just east of I-75 and just near Fruitville Road, and it's a stormwater facility, and birds love water, so there's always a lot of birds there, and we go there a lot. And so what we're planning to do is the county is giving us a lease for 1 acre of land, and we're going to get the money together to build a nature center there. And when we do have that nature center, within about 2 or 3 years, we'll be having lots of children's programs. We'll be developing ways that kids can come out and learn more about birds and learn more about the environment. We'll have junior stewardship programs and environmental stewardship programs, and all sorts of things like wildlife bingo games and all sorts of things, so that it will be for the whole community, not just for people in the Audubon Society, because the celery fields has lots of other things besides birds. It has reptiles, bugs, otters, and other mammals. So we can learn a lot together about what lives in the celery fields. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
How can people find out more about your organization?
Well, we have a website, which is www.sarasotaAudubon.org. So people can go on there and find out all about our field trips, all about our meetings, and any of the things that they want to participate in. We also have links to other sites on our website where you can find out a lot about birds. If you're interested in birds and looking at birds, pictures of birds, there are links to that. There are ways to become a member. Our membership is $20 a year, and for young people, students, it's $10 a year. And every month we send out a newsletter and information about what's coming up. So there's lots to do and lots to find out on our website.
Thank you so much. For Girl TV, I'm Shayla. Bye.
Hi, I'm Jeff Whitson, General Manager of ABC7, and you're watching Girl TV.
Hi, I'm Jamie, and we're here today with Taylor McCurdy, daughter of the McCurdy family. How has it been growing up in a comedy club environment?
It's been really fun. Like, I've gotten to meet a lot of famous people, and I got to grow up in an adult environment, so I learned a lot of stuff really quick. But it's been really fun, and I am very appreciative for it.
Who are some of the comedians that come here?
Have you ever watched Full House?
Yes.
Well, you know Joey Gladstone?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's an actual comedian, and he's performed here. He's very funny and a very nice guy. And Jim Brewer, who was on Saturday Night Live as the Goat Boy, he's very funny and nice guy. And my dad actually started out Larry the Cable Guy.
Really?
Yeah, actually Larry the Cable Guy, his real name's Dan Whitney, and whenever he did stand-up, he was just going up as Dan Whitney. And Larry the Cable Guy was actually a character he did on a radio show. But then I guess the radio guy got all, so so he departed from the radio station, and my dad told him that he should try and do Larry the Cable Guy on stage. And he tried it one night here, well, not here, but at the Holiday Inn, the old comedy theater. And so he tried it there, and it killed. So then he said that you should just turn that into your whole entire act, and ever since then, he's been Larry the Cable Guy.
Well, thanks for joining us, Taylor. I had a really great time. For Girl TV, I'm Jamie. Bye.
Hi, I'm Shayla, and on this Build segment, we're going to talk about a famous comedian. Her name is Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball was born on August 6, 1911, and died on April 26, 1989. She starred in a comedy show called I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy was developed by Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball. But at the time, the studio executives weren't ready for that type of show. They were forced to take the show on the road to prove its potential. It all worked out, and the show I Love Lucy premiered on October 15, 1951. Within 6 months, it was rated as #1. It ran 6 seasons with hour-long special episodes. The show won over 20 awards, and 5 of them were Emmys, which is the highest award for TV programming. I hope you've learned more about one of comedy's most influential and leading ladies, Miss Lucille Ball. For Girl TV, I'm Shayla. Bye! This segment was brought to you by the Sarasota Audubon Society.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and today we are here with Les and Pam McCurdy. So how long has McCurdy's been here?
We've been here since 1988, so wow. I think, doing quick math, I believe 23 years.
Wow.
Yes, and I know for you that's like forever, right?
Yeah.
You can't even imagine it, can you? And you're looking at me going, you look so young.
He's old.
And good. But yes, 23 years we've been here.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yes, it is.
How did you get into comedy?
I was actually doing a dramatic piece, Shakespeare, and everybody just died laughing, and I thought, ooh, this isn't going to work out. I guess I better be a comedian. Actually, I graduated from University of Memphis, and I was going out to Los Angeles to try to be a professional actor. And a friend of mine was in Denver, Colorado, and he was doing documentary films. And I'd only worked on stage and plays. I'd never been in front of a camera. So I stopped there to kind of play around with filmmaking and the acting part of that. And we started writing little sketches, and they were funny, and we'd take them down to the comedy club in Denver and try them out on open mic night, and that was kind of how we got into it.
Cool, I want to be an actor too, so. Yeah.
You do want to be an actor? And do you realize what you're going to have to do to be an actor?
Not really, but I probably soon will.
You're going to have to travel a lot. Okay. You're going to need a nice car.
Sounds
She'd
good.
like a nice
yeah,
car.
I would. That'd be nice. Yeah.
Okay, but the only problem with that is that you won't get the car from acting. The first car you'll get from like working in a grocery store.
Yeah. Then we'll move up.
Yes. Yes.
Good.
What did you want to be when you were growing up?
I wanted to be a forest ranger. I did.
So did my mom.
Your mom wanted to be a forest ranger?
Yeah.
And what is your mom doing now?
Right now she's a nurse.
She's a nurse, and I'm a comedian. See? Forest rangering just never works out like you think it's going to.
Nope.
That's what.
Who's your favorite comedian, and who inspired you to get into comedy?
My favorite comedian is Taylor McCurdy, and no, I'm teasing. She's very funny, and Pam inspired me to get into comedy because she said I couldn't do anything else. Actually, my favorite comedian, there were several. When I was really young, there was a guy named Buddy Hackett and another guy named Jonathan Winters that used to come on the Johnny Carson show. And that was a big comedy show back when I was a kid. And I loved all three of them. And then Bill Cosby. When Bill Cosby first came out, I was in about the 6th grade, 7th grade. And I just thought he was fantastic. And then Richard Pryor, who really took comedy to a modern, what we know of as modern comedy. And so those were probably my best inspirations.
That's quite a few people.
There's several. I can't pin it down to one.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Repeat.
Repeat who?
Who? Ba-dum-bum. Do you have to be funny to be a comedian? This question is not a joke, by the way.
Do you have to be funny to be a comedian? Yes. Yes, you do. Yes, you have to be funny. And everyone has the ability to be funny. It's just whether you have the drive and the passion to do it at a professional level and make money. That's different.
Like you.
I'm different.
That's for sure.
That's for sure. Absolutely. So it all is a matter of, to be a professional at anything, it's how hard do you want to work? How much do you want to put into it? That's what that's all about.
How do you describe the characteristics of what makes a good comedian?
I think it goes back to, once again, having a passion for what you're doing. And if you're someone up here that also wants to communicate to people, has a message, has something to say, and is passionate about it, I think if you go to McCurdy's Comedy School and you learn how to take that passion and your message, let him help you find your funny, I think that's the art of being a good comic.
Miss Charlotte, our teacher, has always wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but is scared that no one will laugh when she is on stage, so she hasn't taken that leap. What advice would you have for her?
Take my class.
Absolutely. Take the comedy class. I guarantee anyone that takes his comedy class, you will have a successful show. There will be people laughing, and I don't know any comedy club in the United States where the owner is hands-on teaching you stand-up comedy. And
It's true. And you know why that is? Most comedy club owners make more money than I do. But that's true. She's bled me dry. She's taken, look at her. She's dressed well. Look at me. See, there's your difference. They just give me a pittance.
I'm a slave driver.
I know. But really, if you, the thing that's good about the class, we have open mic night here. And we do it generally on Wednesday and Thursday nights. And when someone wants to come and do open mic night, and that's how all comics start, we start them out with 3 minutes. That's all you get. And I know for a lot of people think, oh my goodness, 3 minutes, I can't do anything. I mean, it's not enough time. Oh, it's plenty of time. You know, and because you can deliver several jokes in 3 minutes. But you can come here without going through the class and just sign up. Give it a shot. That's how I do it. That's right. And then you just kind of learn as you go. The beauty of the class is that you come in here with a group of like-minded people, all feeling kind of the same way, who want to do this. They have a passion to do it, but they're just want a little guidance. And you go through a program that's 6 weeks. We meet once a week for 2 hours. Each class, you come in and you do your little presentation, your comedy presentation, and you get feedback from myself, from other professional comedians who might be here, and then from the class. And then you go back home that week and you work on it some more. So you get to go through that process so that by the end of the 6 weeks, you feel you have a lot more confidence, and especially with me and my partner Ken Sons, who helps teach the class, both of us telling you it's going to work. We're confident, and we always say that our job it's like we compare doing stand-up comedy for the first time a lot like jumping out of an airplane and parachuting for the first time. You really feel like you're free falling, and so our job is to make sure your parachute opens, that you don't hit the ground. That's right. We don't want you to have a bad experience up here. We don't want you to leave here feeling that demoralized. And so we're going to make sure when you go there, even if we have to give you a joke that we know will work. If we feel like that by 4 weeks in, we'll give you a couple of things. But we're going to make sure you have a good experience. So I'm sure she would.
Okay, good.
Has she got $200?
Probably. Do you, Miss Charlotte?
Good. Then she can come to the class.
Now, didn't 2 of our Girls Inc. girls come here and learn some stuff? How did they do?
They did. They did very well. They came through. As a matter of fact, I think we've done that the past 2 years in the summer. And we do our kids camp, and that's kids 8 to 12 years old. We will take 13 and 14-year-olds if they're immature. But we take 8 to 12-year-olds. And they go through the same process kind of as my adult class does, except within this class we do improvisation games and joke telling. And the girls that came out of the Girls Inc. Group everybody did well. Everybody got laughs and was fun and funny.
Cool. What advice can you give an aspiring girl comedian?
An aspiring girl comedian, never date an agent. That's one. Never let anybody tell you that you're at a disadvantage because you're a girl. Realize that you're probably at a little bit of an advantage because you're a girl comedian, female, because most comedians are men. And now that has changed. It's a lot more women have gotten into the business over the past, I would say, 10 years especially. But because you're a female and there's less women than there are men, you're more unique. It gives you a little difference there. So I think that gives you a little advantage in our industry, because being unique and being different is
you stand out more.
You really do stand out more. Thanks for putting that in my head. And and also be yourself. Be really, really honestly whatever you feel is, and Pam said this earlier, however you feel that you want to express yourself to get laughs, be true to that. That's really important, because when you're not, it doesn't seem to work as well. It kind of shows.
Did you ever do stand-up comedy? Why or why not?
Yes, I did do stand-up, and it was in the beginning when we had the location at the Holiday Inn in the banquet room. Les was going out on the road still, so I had experience in theater.
Yeah, tell them about your experience in theater.
Well, I graduated from the Oslo here in town, so I have my master's in theater. And worked.
She's way brighter than I am.
I worked professionally, so for me, getting up on stage, that wasn't the big hurdle. You know, being funny is it's tough. You know, when you're having your own perspective about what's going on in your life and you put it up on stage. But yeah, I used to MC and host the shows, and then we got Taylor, and I wanted to be a mom.
And I'll say that what happened, I was on the road, and Pam would get so angry with the host that would be filling in for me because they wouldn't get the announcements right. And so that she would go, I just wish they'd get the announcements right. That's the most important thing they need to do. And they're so worried about their little 5-minute show, which I could really care less about because they're the beginners. I just want to get the announcements right. I was like, well, why don't you do it? You know, just tell some jokes, whatever, because you know the announcements, you know how to be on stage, and she did, and she was good at it.
And Charlotte, I took Les's comedy class before I got up on stage and emceed my own club. Let me tell you, it works.
What is the best part of owning a comedy club?
Being the boss.
Yeah, definitely.
She is. She's the boss. Being in charge of your own life, that's a good deal. You work harder, you work more hours when you own your own business because you're responsible for everything. I'm not, she is. But the reward is that you have a lot of freedom creatively, and
you're having a good time.
You're having a good time. You know, it's just a barrel of laughs around here all day long. And you're having a good time, and you know, and when you're like me, you're really not here much anyway.
What advice would you give to young women wanting to come into the comedy business?
I think Les said it well. Definitely. The comedy business is a viable profession for women to be in. Absolutely. I think that women have the edge because it's, you know, you have the advantage. There are more men doing comedy. And if you can stick it out, because like Les said before, it is tough being a comic, whether you're a male or female, all the traveling that you have to do to establish that fan base. You're traveling every day, going, you know, to different cities, sometimes a different state. I mean, you're on the road a lot.
You know, the other thing that and this is something that I think is very important for a female, it'd be important for a male too, but especially for a female out on the road, is that realizing, as Pam said, you are getting in your car and driving all over the country. You're going into cities you've never been to before. You don't know anybody there. You're literally driving up, and the only contact you're going to have is whoever runs that comedy club. Sometimes the accommodations they put you in are not great. You know, the hotel might be kind of funky or seedy. You might be, in some cases, in an apartment or a house with all of the other comedians who you may or may not know, and probably are all men. So in that situation, I think
martial arts.
Yes. Well, I think that a young woman has to be very bold. Has to be very bold and assertive and sure of herself, so that she is, even more so than a young man, I think, going in those situations and walking in and letting everybody know in a good way, I mean in a nice way, but that you are so confident in yourself and you are not going to be taken advantage of in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. And I think that's advice we would give any young female getting into the business.
Yeah, you have to be strong, smart, and bold, right?
That's right.
Big time, big time. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that goes we know it goes for all of life, but in the entertainment industry, I think it's even more important that a young lady is very sure of herself, very sure of what she wants, you know, and how she wants to get to the level of professional, and that she doesn't allow herself to do anything that is compromising her, you know, and her as a professional.
Cool. Thank you for talking to us.
Are we finished?
Yes, we are.
Did we run out of tape?
You want to keep going?
Did we run out of tape? Okay, yes. But thank you.
Yeah.
This is great. We look forward to seeing it.
Good luck with your acting.
Thank you very much. Okay. For Girl TV, I'm Sarah. Bye. Clap, 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 clap.